Voice of Nations. International news. Today's headlines.
Things could go crazy quickly. Russia is massing more troops near Ukraine and an invasion could come at any time, Biden said on Friday. The recent deployment of additional U.S. troops to Romania sends a very strong message regarding Washington's commitment to European security, and NATO may stand up additional battle groups in other Black Sea-adjacent nations, NATO's chief has said. Finland joins F-35 stealth fighter procuring countries with latest deals. Oil prices surged and U.S. equities fell sharply Friday as officials in Washington said Russia could attack Ukraine soon. The top diplomats of the U.S., Australia, Japan and India opened talks in Melbourne Friday on deepening their Quad alliance, hoping to blunt China's expanding power across the Asia-Pacific region. U.S. Secretary of State said that even though Russia's threat to Ukraine occupies Washington right now, the longer-term issue is China's rising power. India is beset with significant geopolitical challenges, in particular from China and its behavior on the line of actual control, the White House has said, while releasing its Indo-Pacific Strategic Report. Opposition parties in Pakistan determined to step down Prime Minister Imran through democratic way in the parliament. The U.S. government plans to free up half of $7 billion in frozen Afghan central bank assets on its soil for aiding the Afghan people, while the rest will remain in the U.S. pending lawsuits from victims of terrorism, sources said. Two international journalists who were detained while on an assignment for the UN Refugee Agency in the Afghan capital have been released. At least one person was killed and over a dozen others injured in an explosion at the entrance of a mosque in northwest Afghanistan on Friday. Bahrain's foreign ministry confirmed on Saturday that an Israeli officer will be stationed as a part of international coalition in the country, for securing freedom of navigation, protecting international trade and confronting piracy and terrorism in the territorial waters. Intelligence agents from Turkey and Israel have thwarted an Iran-led plot to kill an Israeli-Turkish tycoon following a months-long surveillance operation. Major Palestinian groups have slammed new appointments to top positions in the PLO as illegitimate and an attempt to entrench the power of President Mahmoud Abbas. UN chief on Friday urged for Libyan elections to be held as soon as possible after the country found itself with two competing PMs, raising the specter of renewed violence. The EU and the Gates Foundation are set to announce a package of financial support for the nascent efforts to set up an African medicines regulator in a bid to boost the continent's drugs and vaccine production. Amid the ongoing hijab row in India, the Supreme Court of the country on Friday said that it will only interfere at an appropriate time. Islamophobia has taken a most lethal form in India, turning some 250 million Indian Muslims into a persecuted minority, Noam Chomsky, the world-renowned scholar, author and activist, has said. Canada's most populous province, Ontario, declared a state of emergency on Friday, as truckers continue to hold protests against COVID-19 mandates in the country's capital, Ottawa.